Welcome to the sofa. I'm Sherry.
I'm Bonnie, and this is the Sisters Hallmark Sip and Chat podcast.
We're a couple of crown heads who love all things Hallmark.
Welcome to the Sisters Sip and Chat podcast and week 3 of Hallmark's Countdown to Christmas on the W channel. In this episode, we will be sipping the Merry Mocktail and chatting about the 3 movies, Rodeo Christmas Romance, Christmas on Duty, and A Newport Christmas.
All right, movie number 1, Rodeo Christmas Romance, starring Rebecca Dalton as Emma and Corey Sevier as Noel. Emma is forced to take a break from the rodeo circuit while her cherished horse heals from an injury. She agrees to ranch sit for her rodeo partner Bill, but when his brother military veteran Noel arrives home, the two clash and sparks fly in more ways than one. Let's find out how this movie rated on our sofa rating system, but first, a quick explanation. Our custom sofa rating system includes a list of 20 Hallmark tropes, broken down into 10 categories that will determine how Hallmark is this movie. You can download the list from our website and social pages. This movie earned an amazing 19 out of 20 sofas, and the categories are military might, town holiday celebrations, location, family and friends, unexpected hiccups, affairs of the heart, big life changes, and the fundraiser gave them 5 extra bonus sofas.
Well, something that I noticed in this movie that I thought was quite interesting was that the restaurant in the movie looked exactly like the set used in the Christmas on Evergreen movies, where they go to the counter and they shake the snow globe.
Oh, yeah. I kind of was sort of irritated at the beginning because I thought it was super realistic or unrealistic that she wouldn't have freaked out having someone come into the bed with her. Like, if I was a woman alone in a house, a strange house that I didn't live in, and some stranger just came into my room, I'd be freaking out. She waited until he even touched her in the bed. Like, I would be on high alert. So there were some strange things to start off this movie for me.
I'm sure it's scary to come back to civilian life after being in service for so long with such a regimented life. However, the brothers' rival seemed a little thin within the storyline, and the fact that the brother had been shot and they still seemed to be so estranged, that was kind of off-putting for me. I would have thought a trauma like that would have brought the family back together.
I do agree with that for sure. Um, Absolutely. I think that if it was my brother, I would be very excited to see him come back alive. But anyway, this whole movie was, it it's a bit strange in the sense that, well, I mean, it's a typical grumpy sunshine romance. He's grumpy, she's sunshine, whatever. Um, but at first, I was believable, like, but not like electric. It was just steamy. I found. I don't know. This was off-putting to me. Was a lot of kissing, almost hot and heavy kisses. And I feel like his abs were like a character in the story. Like, how many times did he have to show off his abs in the story? Not that they weren't lovely. They're nice abs, but I just feel like it was like a bit much in the movie. One time would have been fine. But the ranch romances are super popular book themes right now for current romance books. So I think it was a great idea for them to highlight that kind of scenario in a movie this season. And I think that they should do that really, like every season have something that's kind of popular like that. It felt a little bit much on that part of the romance. A little, insta-lovey and, they were like grumpy and then insta-lovey. It just felt a little disjointed for me.
I agree with you. I do like, though, that they do every year include service people in the movies outside
Yes.
of this grumpy to sunshine romance thing. But with the servicing, having to deliver the belongings to the widow, that just made me cry so much. That was such a touching scene. And it was a lovely thing for him to do. And I think it gave both of them a little bit of closure that I think they both really needed. So that part was really nice. And something that you could see would happen in real life. So I really did like that.
I do agree with you. Very touching to see Noel give his late friend's family the flag and his medals. That was a really special and, yes,
Yeah.
tear-filled moment for sure. And like I said, if my brother had come home from being shot, I would have been happier about it than Bill seemed. But it was nice that eventually the brothers reconnected. But it was a little bittersweet that it took all the way to the end to do that. And it took her really to kind of draw that out of them, instead of just being like your sibling is home and alive. You should be
Yeah,
excited
seemed like
about
with a lot
that.
of work for the females in there, almost brought us back in centuries to
Yeah.
kind of because his commitment to family to give up his vet dream to be a veterinarian for the animals, that was commendable. But then you give it up, you go and serve your country, which is also super commendable, but you're almost like indignant about it.
Yeah, yeah, that part was a little wonky, though I did love the vibe at the Christmas event at the ranch. I especially like the acoustic country version of the Christmas songs that they danced to. So that kind of, offset it for me. It did make it a little bit more festive, and I enjoyed that part of the show.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I agree. It was exciting to see women progressing in the sporting world once again. But I mean, that's a world I wouldn't want to be in. That'd be really hard. It was just, we progressed so far in the sporting world, which they really dominate in the movie. You couldn't even get the the sponsorship without her. Yet
Hmm.
the women had to, go back 50, 60 years because they have to fix everything for everybody else.
Yeah, I don't think it was fair when the one gentleman said it takes a good woman to help a broken man. I don't think it's up to the woman to fix that guy's problems. If he's broken, he
Agree.
needs to fix it. Every person needs to take ownership of their flaws and take the lead in their own healing journey. Like, why does she have to give up her career because he decided to stay at the ranch? Like, why would she have to do that? I didn't understand that. So I liked in the end that, he recognized that, and she once again came up with the solution that made the sponsorship work for them, and then still work for the ranch and work for her and Noel's relationship.
I agree with that because it took him a minute to go, wait a minute, my mom did this. This can
Yeah.
work. Hello, but whatever. All in all, for myself, I found the movie a little bit slow moving. Not that I don't love a good Hallmark movie, I do, but this one was a little bit on the slow side for me.
Yes, the score is great for Hallmark part, but I did find that the movie dragged as well, though I did enjoy the ranch setting.
Movie number two, Christmas on Duty, starring Janelle Parrish as Blair and Parker Young as Josh. Blair and Josh, rivals since basic training in Quantico, find themselves on the wrong side of their commanding officer when they cause a mishap at the Christmas base's Christmas party. They use their punishment of Christmas duty to battle a storm to bring back toys for the kids on the base for the holidays. This movie also earned an amazing 19 out of 20 sofas, and the categories are military might, town holiday celebrations, location, 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 family and friends, unexpected hiccups, affairs of the heart, big life changes, and of course, the bonus charity event, Operation to get Christmas presents to the kids on the base.
Right from the beginning, I felt like I was going to enjoy this movie, and it was this very cool animated beginning, which kind of made it seem from the beginning this might be a family movie. It was super cute. I hope that they do that more. I loved it. It fit perfectly with the theme of Christmas presents for kids.
I agree. I love this real Hatfield versus McCoy type family feud, which added that extra movie excitement to this particular flick, which right from the beginning, I agree. I loved it.
Yes, built-in tension there. And Janelle is one of my favorite Hallmark actresses. She's so funny. She has such a great vibe and attitude, and I especially like her in this strong female part.
I agree. She fit that really well. And there was no denying that that could have been her real vocation because she was very
Hmm.
good at it. Helping those kids and getting involved in so many different ways to ensure all the presents were given to make everyone's heart melt was awesome because they made everything so much fun. It was never just go do it, it was all about the fun too.
Yes, I love that they use their military school skills, sorry, to figure out how to get around the quote unquote obstacles in the way of getting their mission completed. They were like Santa's marine elves. It was very
Oh,
cool.
that's a perfect way to say it because they did make everything a mission. It was so funny and it added to the entertainment. Who's going to look around the room and go, okay, if I climb up here, jump on
Yes.
there, swing over here? Oh my gosh. It was almost like a 007 kind of scenario. It was awesome. I love that.
It was very cute, and it really fed into that theme the entire time. You understood this is about military people and military life and military solutions, and I really enjoyed that part of it. I
Me too.
also I also noticed in one of their little hiccup moments that one of the actors in this movie was Mr. Christmas from last year, who did a little cameo. So that was interesting. Excited about to find out who will be Mr. Christmas this year.
Yes, I love that show. We're all dedicated over here to that. And it is great to see that he had the cameo. I agree. And hopefully he'll get more acting. I'm sure he does other things, but more in their Christmas lineup. That would be great. The
Yes.
family stories were so very nice. And they clearly had feelings for each other. Like the girl and the guy, obviously, our stars were. He was so into her right from the beginning. But it was nice that the families rivalry was based on the fact that they had been really good friends at one
Yeah.
point. Like it was important, and coming together at the end was amazing.
Yes, I agree. I think they had good connection. They're both actors were great in this movie,
Yeah.
and I really feel like the background actors of the family did an excellent, and the friend too did an excellent job. The one thing I
Yeah, the
did
friend
not
was
enjoy,
kind of out there though, Bun. Like she just staying with the dad for the day. I don't know if that was just to keep him calm or what that was about. I don't know
I
why
think it
that
was
was
yeah, I'm
necessary.
not really sure either, but maybe it was just about how, you need to help, you know, friends and family at Christmas. She didn't have anywhere to go, and so
No
she was
man
there.
left behind.
And it kind of took off those edges of the dad, kind of guided him too, which made him a little bit more open to receiving that reconnection with his dad. So I think she played a good part. She was funny. I liked her.
She was funny.
My biggest issue with this movie, honestly, was how their commanding officer dealt with them being late when they arrived back. I'm like, how is being a little bit late, but with all the gifts, how is that punishable? Did not understand that, didn't enjoy that at all. I understand maybe it's a military thing, but honestly, he could have said, okay, you're late, but now you have to go deliver them in these costumes or whatever. Like, that is quote unquote punishment enough, really. But I don't know. That one kind of just rubbed me the wrong way. But I'm glad in the end that they went out there and they delivered them all and the costumes were cute.
I agree because the way they left it in their final meeting with him, their commanding officer was like, are we just leaving the toys in the truck? No one's getting them? Like, what's happening right
Yeah,
now? They
exactly.
just kind of left it there. So that was different. I was surprised that she would put her career before her love of a man. On one hand, I guess surprised, on the other hand, proud that this was serious for her. But again, it all worked out in the end.
No, I agree. I think that was good. I loved the reconciliation at the end. Of course, that's always nice to see. And her gift of singing a Christmas carol to her dad
Oh,
was so sweet and thoughtful since, her mom was the classically trained singer who had passed. And she sang beautifully. It was a very lovely
it
moment to
was.
end the movie on. Movie number three, A Newport Christmas, starring Jenna Claire Mason as Ella and Wes Brown as Nick. In her schooner Benevolence and under the mysterious light of a comet, Ella makes a wish for a better life and true love, then finds herself transported from Newport, Rhode Island in 1905 to the Newport of 2025. Nick, along with his fellow historians at her family's estate, now museum, helps her navigate this strange turn of events and realize how critical her life in 1905 is to the current day folks at Newport. But as they draw closer to one another, can Ella give up her feelings for Nick and the wonders of 2025 for a lonely life in 1905? This movie earned an outstanding 25 out of 20 sofas, which is, I think, the most Hallmark we have ever scored a movie. And the categories are, well, every single one. And that would be, let's just rhyme them off: military might, town holiday celebrations, clash of classes, here comes the bride, location, 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 family and friends, unexpected hiccups, affairs of the heart, big life changes, Christmas magic, and of course, the bonus charity event, the Giving House Charity Ball for the less fortunate.
Okay, this was obviously by the score the best weekend movie of the weekend, but for me personally, this is the best movie I've seen so far this season. Loved this movie, loved the storylines, and Ella was super convincing as a person from 1905. She was an excellent actress. Excellent.
100% agree. I totally agree. This clearly has ranked the best so far, I think, this season. And it's so funny watching her. Like she did such a good job. Like after learning all we've accomplished as humanity over the last 120 years, the thing that makes her actually pass out is an inflatable snowman, which is just hilarious. Like it was so cute, that kind of realistic moment, but also the tongue-in-cheek cutesy moments were actually super enjoyable.
It was, and the fact he got to carry her, right? He caught her in his arms, that
Yes.
hallmark moment. The fact that all the people at the museum were convinced that she was from the past stated a lot about how in our timeline now in 2025, we're more open to the idea of time travel. Maybe all those superhero movies about the multiverse have given us the ability to be detached to thinking that's insane.
No, 100%. And you know what? I love time travel movies. I'm all for them. So I'm glad that they keep making them. And Hallmark has a habit of making, particularly comets, this method of time travel, like the Candace Cameron Bure movie set in the 1940s, Journey Back to Christmas, also one of my absolute favorite Hallmark Christmas movies of all time. This movie was kind of like a bit of Back to the Future in there and a little bit of Kate and Leopold, both movies which are
Mm.
fantastic and I enjoy.
I love that they use when he wanted to watch the TV on the big screen that doesn't last a minute and a half. It's a
Mhm.
Wonderful Life, because this was the perfect movie that once again showed how just one person missing in our lives can change everything, and not usually for the better.
No, 100%. They did that. They did those little snippets really well to kind of bring it all together. Like the whole movie, a ball, come on, a ball and a boat parade.
That's a
Awesome.
ball.
I loved all the festive events and to get to see Newport. I like them when they actually film at the location so you can tell that that's where they did some of these outside shots. It always adds to the authenticity of the storyline, and plus then we get to see bits and pieces of a place we've never been to before. And her home slash museum was beautiful and reminds me of our beloved Dundurn Castle in our hometown that looks also beautiful at Christmas time.
So true, so true. The chemistry for these two was perfect. And my husband figured out the end way before it happened. Once he knew that Rex left on his own boat and wasn't wanting to return, he said, nope, I know exactly what's going to happen. Went boom, 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 boom. And as depressing as it was, he did figure it out. However, I loved seeing it roll out and play in real time.
Yeah, for sure. And I can imagine as a woman, her struggle of whether she's going to go back or stay. A woman finding herself in an era where suddenly she has all this autonomy. She has a future where you can have more control of your life. That would be difficult to give up and return back to a time where you were very constrained and didn't feel like you had any autonomy over your own life and life choices, particularly one so important as marriage. Of course, for the man, it hits a little different. Let's face it, he's going back there. He has white male privilege, which is the highest privilege at the time. So for him, I feel like it wouldn't have been as difficult to make that choice to go back. Whereas for her, um, it was. But I still, of course, it makes sense why she would want to live in her time and make these changes. That's just who she is, and she wanted to do the good work that she had set out to do.
And he did say many times, Nick, about how he hadn't made roots yet. Nothing was home yet. Like, so he was never settled. So it made sense when he made a different choice where, because she was home to him. So that was nice. Saving Christmas and saving the giving charity, that was amazing. That was great. I love that they showed the buildings, and I loved how they showed that it disappeared if she didn't
Yes,
go
that Back to
back.
the Future
They,
thing that they did it
yeah,
like
they
that
did
was
a
very cool.
great job.
Hmm.
All I can really say is I loved this movie. Loved it.
Hmm. You know, it's so cute. This is just a little aside, but I don't know who did the costume design. They did an excellent job, right down to even in the current day. She had the most adorable purses. If you have watched the movie, please look at her purses in 2025. One was a gingerbread house, then another time was a nutcracker, just super, super cute. But seriously, though the ending was not unexpected, it still was wonderful and made me honestly shed tears. I
Yeah.
expect that this movie will definitely be in the top of my faves this season.
Well, this week's drink was the Merry Cocktail, and that's 2 to 3 ounces each of rosemary simple syrup, pomegranate juice, and club soda with a splash of lime. Now, for me personally, this rosemary was a bit strong in the syrup, and I'm not a fan of pomegranate. However, it looked fantastic.
Yeah, it was a strange combo for me too. I think there was like a bit of sophistication with it. Maybe doesn't work for me. Both bitter and sweet, not really my thing. Elegant looking though, like absolutely
Mm,
beautiful to look at. Just the flavor profile just wasn't my cup of tea, but however, it might be someone else's cup of tea, and it might be nice if you want to dial it up with a little bit of alcohol. I think we both mentioned that it could do with maybe a
yeah,
little
I could use
splash
that.
of alcohol. Well, if you'd like to try the Merry Mocktail or any of the drinks in our episodes, you can find the recipe on our social posts for each show. Well, fellow Crown Heads, we've come to the end of today's chat.
You can find all our episodes on your favorite podcast network.
And on our website, sistersipandchat.ca. Subscribe and never miss a chat session.
Thanks for listening. Join us next time.
And we'll save you a seat on the sofa.